Module number 1.13.01. Topic name: Assumptions and Principles of Adult Learning. Hello teachers, welcome to the module on adult learning. At the end of this module, you should be able to define adult learning, state the assumptions of adult learning, explain the principles of adult learning, state the factors affecting adult learning, describe the techniques to create and maintain a positive learning environment. We will first understand the definition or concept of adult learning. Adults learn well when learning is focused, or adult learners not always depend on the teachers. This process of helping adults to learn is known as andragogy. Andragogy is defined as the method and principles used in adult education. This term, andragogy, is derived from the Greek word agogos, which means leading man. The term andragogy was originally coined by German educator Alexander Kapp. But later on, it was widely used by the American educator Malcolm Shepard Knowles. Knowles has given the following 5 assumptions of adult learning. Self-concept. As a person matures, he or she moves forward from being a dependent personality to a self-directed human being. Adult learner experience. As a person grows and becomes mature, he or she becomes experienced and then begins to learn from this vast source of experience itself. Readiness to learn. As a person matures, her or his readiness to learn becomes oriented increasingly to the developmental tasks of his or her social roles.
Orientation to learning. With maturity, a person's perspective changes from that of postponed application of knowledge to immediacy of application. Hence, orientation towards learning focuses on problem-centeredness.
Motivation to learn. As a person matures, the motivation to learn is internal. Friends, now we will learn about the 4 principles of adult learning given by Knowles. The first one is: adults need to be involved in the planning and evaluation of their instruction market. 2. Experience, including mistakes, provides the basis for the learning activities. Adults are most interested in learning subjects that have immediate relevance and impact to their job or personal life. Adult learning is problem-centered rather than content-oriented. Friends, now we will understand the factors that affect adult learning. Learners face problems related to mental, physical, social, and psychological issues. The learners are stimulated by 2 types of stimuli: internal and environmental. The internal influences comprise of motivation, perception, learning, and attitudes. The environmental influence includes cultural, social, and economic issues. There is also a period of stagnation known as plateau, which is when the learners fail to show further progress or improvement despite repeated practice. So friends, we will Now learn about the techniques to create and maintain a positive learning environment. Instructor must motivate learners by stimulating their senses. Stimulation of senses and interesting learning environment can be created with audio-visual aids like models, charts, and videos related to lessons. Instructors should offer practical and visual examples to instruct. For example, in electronics or in garment designing, if the instructors show the styles, patterns, and how the final product look like prior to the demonstration, the learner's stimulation to learn went very high. One, the instructor has to clearly define the purpose for teaching a particular topic. 2. Learner-centered approaches like group discussion, group interactions, team and individual projects can make the learning environment more interesting and effective. Counseling and proper guidance will give self-confidence to the learner. If the learner experiences language problems in technical terms, then the instructor can use regional language to teach. This brings us to the end of Principle of Adult Learning. Friends, here we learned about the definition, principles, assumptions of adult learning, and finally, how to create a positive environment for learning.